Part 1. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt tension in the air, even before a word was spoken? Or found yourself reacting sharply to someone, only to regret it moments later, not knowing exactly why? These moments, small but powerful, are not about intelligence. They're about emotional intelligence. And in a world that prizes IQ, technical skill, and speed, we've forgotten that it's often EQ, our emotional intelligence, that determines the quality of our relationships, our leadership, our peace of mind, and our ability to grow. So what is emotional intelligence? At its heart, it is the ability to understand, manage, and work skillfully with emotions, your own and those of others. According to Daniel Goleman, the pioneer of this field, emotional intelligence is made up of 4 core domains: self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship management. These aren't soft skills. They are foundational skills. They shape the way you speak under pressure, how you handle criticism, how deeply you connect, and how effectively you lead. And here's the truth. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if you can't read the room, you're blind in the dark. In this journey, we'll break down these 4 domains, explore their impact, and give you the tools to develop them, not as theory, but as a practice that changes the way you live. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about finally learning to work with who you are. Let's begin. Part 2. Let's begin at the core of it all. Self-awareness. Do you know what you're feeling and why? Most people don't. They know they're stressed, tired, or irritated. But beneath that, fear, insecurity, loneliness, the desire to be seen, the fear of disappointing someone. Self-awareness is the ability to pause and say, what am I really feeling right now? And what is this emotion trying to tell me? Because emotions are not enemies. They're messengers. They show up to inform you, to reveal something important, to guide your decisions, if you're willing to listen. Daniel Goleman says, if you are tuned out of your own emotions, you will be poor at reading them in other people. That's why self-awareness is the beginning of all emotional growth. Because you cannot change what you cannot see. Here's how you grow it. Start journaling. Not just what you did, but what you felt. Check in with yourself in moments of intensity. Ask, what's really going on inside me? And most importantly, learn to name your emotions with specificity. Not bad, but disappointed. Not fine, but numb, not mad, but resentful or violated. Because the better your emotional vocabulary, the better your internal clarity. Self-awareness isn't about judging yourself. It's about becoming a friend to yourself. And that changes everything. Part 3. Now that we understand what we feel, let's talk about what we do with those feelings. This is self-management, the art of regulating your emotional response. Think of it like this. Self-awareness is knowing you're angry. Self-management is choosing not to send that angry text at 1 a.m. It's the difference between reacting and responding. It doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means channeling them. Every emotion is energy. Anger can be destructive, or it can be used to set boundaries. Sadness can isolate, or it can help you process grief. Fear can paralyze, or it can signal caution. Self-management is not about being emotionless. It's about becoming emotionally mature. Here are 3 practices to develop it. Number 1, the pause. Create space between stimulus and response. Even 3 deep breaths can change everything. 2. Reframing. Ask, what else could this mean? Instead of assuming the worst, choose perspective. 3. Emotional redirection. Channel strong emotions into writing, movement, or calm conversation. Let them move through you, not control you. This isn't easy. It's a lifelong practice. But each time you pause, reflect, and choose wisely, you reclaim power. Because your emotions are strong, but your awareness is stronger. Part 4. Now let's step outside of ourselves. This is social awareness. Your ability to read the emotional field of others. It's the subtle art of empathy, of listening not just with your ears, but with your presence. It's how you know when someone's smile is hiding pain, or when silence is saying more than words ever could. In emotionally intelligent cultures, empathy is not a weakness. It's a superpower. It allows you to build trust, to lead with compassion, to respond, not react, to people's needs. And it begins with one shift. Instead of asking, how do I get my point across? Ask, what might this person be feeling? Practice this with active listening. Stop rehearsing your reply. Be fully there. Open body language. Posture speaks when words cannot. Asking clarifying questions, like, tell me more, or, is this how you're feeling? Social awareness is not about fixing others. It's about noticing them. It's about honoring the human beneath the surface. Because in every conversation, two things are always speaking: the words and the emotions beneath them. Learn to hear both, and you'll never feel disconnected again. Part 5. And finally, we arrive at the art of connection. Relationship management. This is where everything we've learned comes together. Because relationships are not built in the easy moments. They're built in the difficult ones. When there's miscommunication, when there's disagreement, when emotions run high and the stakes feel personal. How do you respond then? That's what defines your relationships and your legacy. Relationship management is about using awareness, empathy, and self-control to build trust, resolve conflict, inspire others, and create lasting bonds. Here's what it looks like in action. Giving feedback with kindness. Receiving criticism without defensiveness. Apologizing without ego. Celebrating others without insecurity. Holding space when someone else is breaking. It's hard, it's humbling, but it's real. Daniel Goleman reminds us that leaders, in families, teams, and communities, are not remembered for their degrees, but for how they made others feel. You can be that kind of leader, not by being perfect, but by being emotionally present, by staying curious, by being brave enough to stay connected, even when it's hard. Emotional intelligence isn't about being nice. It's about being true to yourself and to others. And in the end, EQ is not just a skill. It's a way of being human. Better.